Tipping is not mandatory. Tip your servers if they've earned it, and servers earn your tips. If you feel led to give extra. Give someone money just because. Buy someone's food just because. Be that person. If you feel as if people owe you stuff, serving isn't for you. Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Kaelyn Ryan, and I'm back again with another video. Before this video continues, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate my subscribers so far. We are growing, and I'm really grateful, and I cannot wait to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I know it's possible. If you have not already watched my videos, my report, the vlog behind it, and everything that it entailed to get this report done, please do so. I am a broadcast journalist. That is what I got my degree in. That is my absolute passion. Last notes before we get into this video. If you're looking for outfits like the one I'm wearing right now, hot, new, fresh styles that are beautiful, classy, well-made, colorful statement pieces, you do need to visit ogcla.com. I am the brand ambassador. I've been working with the brand for some years now, and I absolutely love their clothing. Again, the piece that I'm wearing right now is from OGCLA, and I think that if I look this good in the pieces, you'll look even better. Please use code OGCK at checkout to redeem your discount. Again, that's ogcla.com. Now that we've gotten all that out the way, let's get into this topic. As you saw by the title of this video, we are talking about tipping culture. Who is wrong? Who is right? Is the server in the wrong, or is the guest wrong? Let's talk about it. Tipping is not mandatory. You guys don't owe us anything. It is our job to do our job regardless of what you leave us. Also nice to be generous, and it's also wonderful to reward great behavior and great work. You may have your own opinion on whether you should tip or whether you shouldn't when dining out at a restaurant. As a server myself, I see both sides. A server went crazy on a guest at a restaurant because she felt as if she was not given the tip she deserved.
Bills to pay at home, and then I have to tax out and tip on what you didn't even tip on.
Well, because everybody else is taking it too.
Okay, but you paid 2 bills and left $3 for $55.
I didn't pay 2 bills. I paid. Look, I hope your parents teach you better.
Who was in the wrong? For some of you, you already know this. For those that don't, I am a server, and I have been working at a restaurant for a little over 2 years now. I started as a food runner, where I made sure your food went from the kitchen to your table with all the necessary modifications, allergy checks, and sauces and condiments if requested. I then was promoted to runner and busser. Therefore, I was not only in charge of running your food to the table, I was also in charge of flipping over the table to ensure that the table was clean and ready for the server to be sat next. And then, after a journey of being skipped over for some time, being told that I'm the best in my section, that they don't want to train somebody to do what I do, blah, blah, blah. After all of that, and putting in my 2 weeks and getting another job as a server and working there, my then GM bribed me to come back with the position that I wanted ultimately, which was to become a server. I have been serving for some time now, and I love it. Serving comes with good and bad, but if you know how to work it, it can be more good, believe me. Before I break down what it really is like to get tips, how much of the money do we keep, how much of it do we lose, before I get into that, I want to break down certain parts of this video. It was a lot of noise at the beginning, and I'm not sure if you guys heard her say, I have bills to pay at home. She says that she has bills. I'm referring to the server. First note, we all have bills. We all have bills. That's not a unique experience. You're not isolated. You're not singled out. We all have bills. And we as servers, in this case, have chosen this job knowing what it entails, whether that be low hourly wages or the potential to earn so much based off of the generosity of others. But either way, as a server, you know what you're getting into. If I decided to go work on a construction site, I should expect things that take place on a construction site. if I decided to go on a world tour and perform my new hit single, that does entail certain things such as crew, stage, practices, making sure I'm paying everything, paying out my employees, making sure my wardrobe is intact, making sure I'm at sound check, making sure that I'm healthy enough for the duration of the tour. There are certain requirements that are accompanied with certain jobs. But one thing that I stand by is no one forced you to choose that job. No one forces me to wake up every day. And outside of being a journalist and reporting here with you guys on YouTube, no one tells me to wake up and be a server. I chose that. I interviewed for the position. I worked my way up. I. So let's assume responsibility for the career choice and the job that we've chosen and not make other people feel bad because the specific career that we've chosen has some, has some gray areas or some less favorable components about it. Next, she says out loud that she only left $3 on a $55 tab. Technically, and I know I'm a server, but hear me out. Technically, she didn't have to leave anything. I have busted my butt. I have dealt with the most annoying tables. I have had tables that were so rude to me, didn't acknowledge me, never looked up at me. When I check ID, push the ID towards me at the edge of the table. I had a guy shove his credit card in my face. He was this close. And he didn't look at me the whole time. His son was nervous looking at his dad's behavior. He was a little boy, maybe like 7 years old. He was looking at his dad like, what the heck are you doing? Yeah, I have had a time, okay? I've been shooed away. Just recently, I was yelled at. People have made passes at me, sexual advances. I've been made to feel uncomfortable. I've been blah, 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 blah. All right, but I chose it. I chose this job because not only do those things exist that I have to get over, there is a bright side of serving. You get to serve people. You get to meet new people. It's always, no day is the same. It's always changing. And you get the benefit that if people like you, buy into who you are, or just enjoy their experience, that they can leave anywhere from a penny to $1,000 or more on the tip receipt. No one owes you anything. 3 on a 55 is less than 10%. 10% at minimum would have been $5. But again, she doesn't have to. She doesn't have to. It speaks to her character, especially if you're a great server. If you did all this and you did all that and she decided I'm just not gonna tip or I'm not gonna tip well. Yeah, but that's a personal choice and she has to resolve that with our Heavenly Father and figure out why she does that. As servers, we do get hourly. I don't know if this lady is in a state where the hourly and minimum wage for servers is still at like $2, $6. I don't know where she lives. I don't know. But in general, you do get hourly. The tips are an addition. You do get hourly though. Like, you do get hourly. If I were to go work at Metro PCS and make, I don't know, $16 an hour, I'm capped at that. And that's before tax. But as a server, I make anywhere between 16 to 17 an hour, but I have the propensity to earn an additional $200 on top of my hourly rate that day. So, boo-hoo, cry wolf, but servers, we're nobody's victim. Yes, we get disrespected. Yes, but in every line of work, at Costco, from Costco workers, to musicians, to teachers, to educators, to chefs, everybody in their line of work experiences some form of injustice or disrespect. So, yeah, it is what it is. Get over it. Her next point was how she has to tip out a lot of people and that the money isn't just hers and blah, blah, blah. That's something you sign up for as a server though. You know, especially if you have a lot of people on the team that day, that your money that they put, if they give you a 10, you're tipping out $1.50 to the bartender, you're tipping out $1 to the food runner, and you're tipping out $1.10 to the busser. You're automatically tipping out around 30% of your tab, depending on how many people are on staff. But you know that though. You know that. So let's not be confused when we have to tip out. Yes, it would be nice if people left the amount that's suggested on the tab, that suggested 15, 18, 20%, so that when we do tip out, because we're forced to, when we do tip out the rest of the team, that we still are left with something. Yes, that would be nice, but that's not always the case. And the guests didn't make it that way. The guests didn't orchestrate this in a way to where they did this on purpose. They're just leaving what they want. They aren't aware that that $3, you're gonna be left with maybe 80 cents to $1 on that $3 tip on the 55. Yeah, it sucks. It does suck. I've been there before. Trust me, but you're gonna be sad again, and you have another opportunity to make more of an impact and pray that you're blessed with a person that actually pays attention to the value of your work. One of my last hot takes on this topic is that I feel as if serving is not the only profession that deserves tips. There's a lot of other service industries, a lot of other people that do things on a day-to-day basis, like that employee at Home Depot that may go out their way to help you walk down aisle upon aisle upon aisle until you find that right paint color, until you find that right light fixture, until you find the right wood panel, until you find the right bolt and nuts for your project. That person is going out of their way, giving you a smile, giving you advice, making you laugh as you're on your journey. That essentially is what we do as servers. But at the end of the day, when you're at the checkout register, do you tip that employee at Home Depot? No. Do they deserve a tip more than the person at the job who's just expecting a tip because they're a server? Yes. So, I don't know. There's a lot of other industries out here and a lot of other people that deserve a tip in place, that deserve a suggested amount for what they've given. I feel like servers get complacent, lazy, and what is the word when you feel like somebody owes you something? I'm forgetting right now. They feel like people owe them something, and y'all don't. Y'all really don't. It's nice, but you don't. You don't owe us anything. Now that I've explained all that, let's get into what she was talking about. Yes, leaving $3 on a 55, she's basically gonna walk with no money on that table. And there's no telling if that table was kind and easy to manage, if that table gave her so much trouble and caused her to go out of her way and not be as attentive to her other tables because this table drained her and then they only leave her $3 before tip out. And as much as it would seem obvious to deem the guest in the wrong for leaving, I guess, that amount of money, technically the guest didn't steal anything. As long as the guests pay their tab, they technically have done no wrong. It's a hard pill to swallow, especially when you work so hard, as I know that I do, but it is what it is. But for me personally, it doesn't happen often. I work hard as a server, I pay attention to my tables, and I do my best. But more importantly, I am a tither, and God makes sure that money finds me, okay? In addition to that, I don't go into it expecting anything from the table because they don't owe me anything. So yes, I have had moments where it's like a $120 tab and they left a $5. Or a 0 with a little slash through it to show you you're not getting nothing. That's happened. But from my personal experience, I also get tipped 100%. Pretty often. Tab be 50, they leave 50. 20% suggestion is $20, they left 70. Total was 30, they left 30. I'm speaking of real situations right now. What would that look like if someone like me who experiences blessings in that manner turns my nose up, yells at, embarrasses, draws attention to a guest for not doing what I feel they owe me? Oh, the word is entitlement. That's what I was thinking about earlier, y'all. Entitlement. Thank you for screaming at the TV, for telling me what that was. Yeah, how dare I have that moment when, one, I signed up for the job, two, no one owes me anything, and three, I am so blessed that the person that left me 100% tip made up for 4 of my tables, whether they tip me or not. I don't know. That girl is obviously at her wit's end, the server. She's tired, she's exhausted, she feels like people owe her stuff. She's probably going through a lot. She's probably got a lot on her plate. If you feel as if people owe you stuff, serving isn't for you. Maybe she should get into a trade. Maybe she needs to get into tech. Maybe she needs to get into nursing. Maybe she needs to get into a field that is lucrative enough and consistent enough to where she doesn't have to worry about who's not doing for her or who's not giving her more than the hourly rate that she signed on for. You know what I mean? She was completely wrong for embarrassing that girl, yelling at her, and causing a whole scene. I think potentially she was trying to make it known to the whole restaurant what servers go through and the plight of when you don't tip. Okay, but there's so many other ways to go about that. Because now the rest of your tables, they're nervous on what they should leave. They don't want to be the next victim. They don't want to be yelled at next or embarrassed. So maybe they're writing a tip that they can't even afford or something that they weren't going to do based off of the quality of your service. But because you yelled and embarrassed that one, now they're nervous. Or it makes them stand on their decision. Like, no, she just embarrassed them. I'm not giving her no money. It can bite you in the butt. But yeah, y'all. Serving is an extreme sport. I believe there's certain articles that express that serving is one of the most high intensity, stressful jobs out here. We work hard. The ones that do it right, the ones that care, the ones that are diligent, we work hard. We work really hard. But, I mean, I was out yesterday. Terrible service I received. Terrible. And there's days at my job, I was talking to my homeboy about this, there's days at my job where people are so enamored with me and my serving and whatever I did for them that they're calling over my manager to tell them about how I did. They're writing notes on the back of my receipts, telling me what impact I had. They're leaving a lot of money, or even if they leave $1, but they felt blessed, they still shower me with their compliments to tell me how they feel about it. I do know that I carry great energy and the light of God, so I'm not surprised necessarily, but I am sometimes taken back with like, are they just being dramatic? Is this guy just trying to get with me? Is this girl just being overly complimentary? Like, I can't be this much of an anomaly. Like, there's gotta be other great servers out there. And then I go out, and then I'm treated like an inconvenience. I'm a problem that I want water. I'm a problem that I'm wondering where my water is after 15 minutes of sitting at the table. I'm wrong that my food came out cold, but you haven't stopped by to my table to even check on me, for me to even tell you that the food is inedible. I'm wrong for that. And then it's like, whoa, I do appreciate when people show love, because I guess a lot of their experience out and about is not with great servers or people that love their job or love people. So I now, especially after yesterday, that girl was so whack. And she probably felt entitled to a great tip. What did I leave her? The total was like 47. 10% would have been $4, which still would have been generous in my eyes because she really sucked. But I think I left $7, which was between 15 to like 17%. That was really generous considering her lack of care and her attitude at the table. But, what's you guys' take on it? Do you believe in tipping culture? Do you believe that you absolutely need to leave 20% regardless of the tab? Do you believe that a person is to earn their tip and that you don't have to leave a tip unless you feel like they jumped through hoops and did backflips? Or do you believe that tipping is cool and that all of us should do it? Different parts of the world view tipping differently. So I think in America, we've gotten a bit too entitled, where I work hard as a server to even have the confidence to leave you a tip receipt in hopes that you may leave something. And no shade to the baristas or to the people that take my order at Panera Bread, but when I walk up to the counter and all I say is I want the such and such, no thank you on the drink, and I'm paying with my card. And then the whole machine pops up with 20% tip. For what? What did you just do? You pressed a button. And for those people that get tightly wound up about that too, you chose that job. If you really want a job that allows for you to get tips or has more of a tipping culture or an expectancy behind it, get into bartending, get into serving. But turning that little keypad around when all I did was get a muffin or a $2 coffee that took you no time and you didn't even make it. All you did was press it. Maybe y'all need to make a video expressing what the tips mean to y'all and who gets them and how they're allocated, because we don't get it. We don't get it. But yeah, regardless of the fact, we're all to look to be a blessing, whether the person is in a line of work that gets tips or not. If you feel led to give extra, give someone money just because, buy someone's food just because, be that person. And this is just a principle that we should all stand on outside of this whole tipping culture argument. You feel me? God calls for us to be a cheerful giver and to do unto others as we want them to do unto us. Do with that information what you may. Tip your servers if they've earned it. And servers, earn your tips. Stop expecting it and stop treating people like crap that don't tip you. I think this is the beginning of a series that I know I want to start, which is a server series where I express the do's and don'ts of what servers shouldn't be doing, what servers should be doing more of, and what we do so well, and giving you guys as guests an inside look onto what it takes to be a server, what it takes when you ask for those certain things, what do we have to do on the back end with our managers or the chefs to ensure that you have a great experience when you ask those certain questions or certain requests, just so that we can all have more of an even playing ground and understanding what it entails when you come to a restaurant, so that you're not unknowingly making the process difficult, and to further encourage servers to just be happy and be grateful for any dollar that's given above your hourly that day. We all have something to learn from it. All right, y'all, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments below what you feel about this topic. Let me know. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I think I have a few videos on my channel from months or even years ago where I express certain journeys that I've gone through as a server. And if you're interested, they're right here. You can check them out. And I'm sure I've gone into detail about other things related to this topic. Remember that Jesus loves you. He is in love with you. He is obsessed with you. He is chasing you down. And if you've been looking for a sign, this is your sign to give your life to Christ. Say that prayer, challenge God on his word, and see what he does with your life, because he absolutely loves you. I'll see you guys in a new video next time.